Hello. Thank you to everyone that has reached out over the last couple of days on this product. I've received an overwhelming amount of support and a lot of questions, so I decided to make this video so I can walk you through what the product does. To make it simpler for us, maybe I should make this light mode. Hey, that's okay. Okay, so let me just get it back to. So, what does the app really do? It's a simple payroll tool for you to run your payroll. It doesn't store your data, everything is on your computer, and you can just work with it simply. It's very, very simple. So, let's try with sample data, right? And whatever you do, you can cancel it and start all over again. So, that's an interesting part. So, right now, you have this company called the Demo Company, and they are trying to run payroll for January 2026. This is the number of employees that they have, and that's what the UI is saying. So let's say they also have a new employee. You can either click here to add a new employee or just press Control E on your computer. So if you press Control E, a new employee comes up, and let's call this one Fred, and Fred earns 600,000, and the computation just updates automatically. You could also change like the existing one, so let's say 650 here, let's say 875 here, let's leave this as 3, let's make this one 1090, whatever number that is, right? All the computations updates as I make that change. um so one thing that you might want to do is to change BHT, right? You want to change the basic housing and transport because that's what affects your pension. But please take note of this one person. I will tell you something about them later. So let me change your salary to 1 million so it is easier to see what happens to them. So if you look to the left here, there's this small I button, right? It is a quick settings place where you can see the quick settings of this company. So right now this company has set that basic is always 100%. That's why the basic housing and transport comes to 100%, because 100 plus 0 is 100. And the company has set that they do pension, right, which is why pension is being calculated. If the company clicks here that they do NHF, you will see that other deductions update. If they add NHIS, you will see that that also updates. So let's take NHIS and NHF off and change basic to 50%. So watch the BHT numbers. So if I let me do 30, 10, 10. So as you can see, changing the splits, basic housing and transport comes to 50%. BHT is now 50% of the monthly gross, and the payee computations, everything works perfectly. But you can also set, apart from the company settings, which you can also access via this page you're seeing here. There's company settings here. Look, it's the exact same thing. You can access it here. You can also set individual overrides. So let's say you have one employee where the company has decided to do 12% for the employer contribution and 10% for and 6% for the individual themselves. You can add that override. So let me show you what that looks like. But the easiest way for you to see it is look at when I change pension. Look at what happens to employee pension numbers. If I click on pension, see, everybody's pension becomes 0, but this one person's pension does not change. If I click it back, their pension remains the same. Now, the reason for that is because we have set a specific rate for this person. And how do you set it? If you click here, you can view employee details or view computation. If you view computation, you will just see, okay, how did we arrive at the net pay that is going to this person. I would work on this and see if I can turn it into a pay slip or something later that you can export, but for now this is what I have. And then, so if you click on view employee details, there's so much details about this employee that you can update. So you can change their role and it would update immediately on the payroll. So if you change their name to Wales, for example, as you can see, the name is changing here. Then let's go to employment and tax. So if you look at employment and tax, you can set their state, you can set their tax ID, you can set their join and exit date. The join and exit dates applies for a certain reason, but we'll come back to that maybe in another video because I see this video is getting long already. So where I'm going to is, if you look here, the employee still pays 8%, but employer now pays 12%. There are some companies that have this specific requirement, so you can override whatever default you set at the company level for each employee. So let's say we want to also change this Will's salary to maybe 700,000. You can also do it here. So you can see compensation history, you can edit it and change their compensation history to, say, let me do monthly. So say 1050000, and then I save. So as you can see, like as I'm updating, it is also updating in the payroll. So let's say you wanted to add a new record for this employee. Look at what happens, because salary can change, right? So it will tell you this will end the current record at January 2026 and start the new record at February 2026. Do you want to confirm? And then you can confirm or not. So this is for people that have multiple pay in one period. This video is already 6 minutes, so I need to cut it short. Anyways, apart from that, if you want to add rent relief, so let's say you are handling rent for your staff, there's rent here. You can just add rent for this staff and say from what date to whatever date, add the amount here. So yeah, that's about this. I think I should run now. So if you've done all of this and you're like, oh, I've tested it, I understand, I want to start on a fresh clean slate, there's a small button to the left bottom here called reset. So if you just click reset, everything that you have done, you can cancel it, and then you can start afresh from a new slate. Put the name of your company, XYZ company, and then you can go ahead and do whatever you want to do. You can export whatever you have done in CSV. One feature somebody has requested is that they should be able to export to Excel and see the calculations. That will take a while, but I will work on it. And when you're done, you can actually choose to finalize, but you can't finalize if you don't have any data. So let me reset and use the demo company to finalize. So if you click finalize, you can just save to this device, and that's it. So once you finalize this particular payroll, you can't edit it again. You can only export it or make a copy. So if you click make a copy, you can just see make a copy, and then you get all the data in another place. So that this video doesn't extend too much, I'll stop here for now. Please feel free to ask me questions, any feature you would like to add, what you would like to see. It is there for you to see. And if you are like me and prefer to see things in dark mode, you can just toggle this button on and off. And then this imports, I'm working on it. Is not quite ready yet, but I'll see what I can do before this weekend runs out. Thank you very much, and see you on the next one.